Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to my favorite father. Thank you for bringing me into this hellhole. Just want to say thank you, and I want to celebrate your special day for you bringing me into the hamster wheel system so I can be an obedient sheep just like you. So yeah, I want to just take a few moments and say thank you. Happy Father's Day. Today's your special day. I'm going to help you out or whatever. I'm going to treat you somewhere, at a restaurant, wherever. Now, don't get me wrong, people. I'm not saying don't celebrate Father's Day. I'm not saying don't wish your father a happy Father's Day. I wish mine a happy Father's Day. But at the same time, it's funny how we just make up all these holidays. Mother's Day, Father's Day. Is there a holiday of Son's Day? Which actually I'm not sure if there is. Maybe there is, I don't know. But if anything, that should be a holiday, if anything. Because it's like how I look at it as, we were just all forced here out of our will. And now we got to go through all the responsibilities. And what I mean by responsibilities is we got to go through all the bullshit that life offers us. Go to school, get a job, go to college, then get a job, whatever. Maybe do both at the same time when you're not in college. Work, I don't fucking know. But, this is what we got to deal with now that our father and mother brought us into this, so-called beautiful gift of life. When I don't see that in any way, form, because the truth is, it's not here. It's not here. Now, making these videos, I'm not trying to say disrespect your father, tell your father to go F himself in any way. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, it's funny how, like, certain fathers ask, what did you get me for Father's Day? Or vice versa, mother, what did you get me for Mother's Day? And if, let's say, we didn't give them jack shit, they get all mad and pissed off, or, say whatever the hell, they'll criticize you that why you couldn't have given me a gift, or you couldn't have given me this, or whatever. Then the funny thing is where it goes, where you buy, let's say you give someone a gift, or, your parent or whoever, and then they'd be like, oh, you didn't have to do that. But meanwhile, if I didn't do that, you would be criticizing me, putting me down. But now that let's say I did it, oh, you didn't have to do that. So it's like all a bunch of BS, man. You're fucked either way. It's like, well, you're really more fucked if you don't do it, because then they really jump down your throat. To whoever is watching that is a father, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything. I do wish you a happy Father's Day, and I hope you're kind to your kids. That I will say, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful, or also I'm not trying to say out of this video, if you're whether a son or a daughter watching, to not buy your father anything. I feel you should have the right to do what you want to do. If you want to give him something or do him a favor, do so. If not, then don't. I'm not encouraging what people should do. I feel like they should just have the right to do whatever they want. But what I am trying to say out of this video is, let's say you don't do it, then they get mad and all that shit. Like, you put me in this friggin' prison, and now you have the nerve to tell me, oh, I got to do this or do that. You're already telling me what to do with my life, or what I should do with my life, literally like pressuring me. And then now this on top of it, so you're just adding more dumbbells to my shoulder. Like, you have the nerve to do that. It's crazy. Didn't you ever hear the saying where no parent should ever have to witness burying their children? Now, for parents that are watching this video that did lose their children, whether it was your son or daughter, I am deeply sorry for that. I feel for you, I do. But the thing is, they say they shouldn't, your parents should never bury their children. So on top of that, so instead of the parents having to suffer, we got to suffer when we lose the parent. When our mother or father passes away, we got to literally witness that. We got to literally, grieve over that shit. We're the ones that are supposed to do it. Because it shouldn't be the other way around. How I look at it as, anyone could die at any moment. I'm tired of people saying he was too young. He died way too young. It doesn't matter. When you die, you die. Who cares if you're young or old? in my opinion, I feel it's better dying young because you escape all the bullshit of getting old. Your body's just going to most likely give you problems as you get old. Now, there are some healthy people out there, but still, no matter how healthy you are, your body's going to give you some sort of problem. You're not going to be as fast as you are now. Let's say you're a fast runner, you ain't going to be nearly as fast as you were when you were in your 30s, 20s, or whatnot. You're going to be a lot slower. So, dying young, in a way, is actually, in my opinion, better because you're escaping all the pain that possibly might happen to you as you get older. The more health problems, the joints, everything just weakening on you. You're literally becoming more brittle. So how I look at it as with death could just happen at any time. So, people always say he had a future ahead of him, she had a future ahead of him, and now that was all taken away. Meanwhile, a future of what? You literally got to try and dodge the bullet in life. What I mean by that is you literally got to dodge the bullet. You got to dodge something bad possibly happening to you. You can get robbed, you can get mugged, you can get slashed, you can get shot, you can get beat up, whatever. When you're out in society, you're trying to dodge the bullet. Because literally, that's all you'll be hearing now on the news is bullets, mass shootings, bullets, boom, boom, So how I look at it as if that person, let's say, so happens to pass away, he or she lucked out in a way because now he or she doesn't ever have to worry about, let's say, getting raped or shot or whatever situation because the person's dead now. So that person escaped all those possible things that may or may not even happen, but you just don't know. And I don't wish that happened to anybody. But what I could definitely say is once you die, it's not going to happen because you're dead. You're not going to have to worry about getting slashed and you're dead. I mean, if someone still slashes your corpse, I mean, you ain't going to feel it, but you know what I mean? But it irritates me to no end when people say he had a bright future ahead of him. He didn't even get the chance to explore his life or whatnot. And I say to myself, explore what? You're just dodging. You're just trying to survive each day at a time. You're just taking it day by day, hoping you can get through it. And then the next day, you got to do the same bullshit again. People that go to work, they take the train. They got to hope every day they don't run into, especially the subways. They got to hope they don't run into some crazy, there's a lot of mentally unstable people on the trains, homeless people that'll just randomly go up to you, slash you, who knows, have a gun or whatever. And then let's say that person made it to work safely out of the subway. You could basically say he or she dodged the bullet for that day. Now, you don't know if that person's going to dodge the bullet the next day or a month from now or weeks from or a year from now, but yes, he so happened to dodge the bullet that specific day. But doesn't mean that's going to be every day, because you just don't know what awaits you in your life. Walking out your house or apartment building, wherever each and every one live, and nobody knows what awaits you on the other side. Getting in your car, you don't know what's going to await you. You may make it to your destination perfectly safely. You may make it to your destination with a fender bender where you're not really hurt, but your car got a little banged up. Or you might crash to the point where you're hurt really bad, or I was going to say worse, but I don't think there's anything worse than being in pain, dead. But dead, really, they say dead is the worst of it all, but how? We're all going to die someday, so we can't say death is bad. I mean, it's just a thing of life. There was a commercial, I forgot if it was a smoking commercial or whatnot, or they were saying if you don't quit, these are the bad things that are going to happen to you. They show like a picture of a hospital bed, which I agree, that sucks. Then there was another thing, I forgot what the other thing was, I think like an oxygen machine or something. I forgot, there was a few things, but then it said, or even worse, death. Nothing could be worse than that, really, because once you're dead, you don't feel anything anymore. When somebody has cancer or any type of terminal illness that they're in pain, the worst of it is while they're lingering. When they die, that's the final relief. For them, I'm saying, because they're no longer suffering anymore. At least we would hope not, unless they're suffering in an afterlife, which hope to God not, if there is a God. But they say, or even worse, death. Death is easy. Death is the best part. It's getting to death that sucks. We can't get to it easy. I mean, some people are lucky and they do, but a lot of people are so unfortunate and they suffer through it until eventually death eventually comes. Until the Reaper's basically already, all right, take my hand. But he can't just say, take my hand now. He's got to let you suffer a while for a couple of weeks or heck, even months down the line. And then eventually say, all right, now you can take my hand. So I disagree when they say, or even worse, death. That's the best part of it all. The hospital bed, I agree, it sucks. That other thing, I forgot what the other thing was, I agree, sucks. But death, that's the best part of it all. You have nothing to worry about after. No bills, no pain that you were currently in, let's just say. You know, that's how I put it as. That's how I put it as. Well, I meant to say that's how I look at it as. But, yeah, so yeah. It's basically what's on my mind today. And I will say it again, happy Father's Day to everyone, you know, to all the parents. It's not like I'm trying to say F you, but I do feel it is fucked up if, let's say, the son or daughter or whoever doesn't do a certain thing and then the parent gets all mad at him or her. Like, you know, you caused me enough pain bringing me into this world. Now you want me to kiss your ass, you know? And again, I'm not saying don't do it. People should have the right to do what they want to do. I don't want parents or anyone going down my throat saying, I'm making this video saying don't get anything for parents or don't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, though, people should have the right to do what they wish. That's all I'm saying there. I'm not trying to say anything different. Now, don't get me wrong. I love both my parents dearly. You know, I do love them. But at the same time, I do question, like, why? Why did you have to bring me into this circus, this sewer, this friggin' storm drain? Well, sewer sounds better. But, like, that's basically, and you know what it is, too? I'm even more angry at parents today than the parents in the older generation, because at least in the older generation, life was bad, but today it's just on a whole nother level of bad. So, like, for example, let's say there's a couple right now talking about, I want to have a kid. Yeah, me too. I hope it's a boy. Like, those people, I'm sorry to say, I just want to go up to them and slap some sense into them motherfuckers. But unfortunately, I'll probably just kill more of their brain cells. They didn't have cells to begin with, but I kid you not, that's literally what I want to do. Now, I'm not going to obviously do that, but I'm just saying, as a joke, well, not really a joke, it's really how I feel. Like, I really just want to slap some sense into these assholes. You see what life's all about today. You see the clown that's in the office, Joe Biden. And I don't like making videos about politics. I'm not saying I like Trump or this or that. I said this, I'm pretty sure, a while back, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really give a damn. I never vote, and I don't plan on ever wanting to vote, because I don't care for that shit. I don't care for Trump. I really don't. When it comes to that shit, I'm just not interested in it. But I will say, Joe Biden, though, he's done a lot of boo-boos. Life's already full of boo-boos, but he just added more boo-boos on top of it. But that's just besides the point. And then yet these idiots, these couples, or they're already married a few years, and now they're looking into, I want to have a baby. Yeah, I want to have a baby. Like, you see, I mean, that's the thing. They don't see. They obviously don't see because they're so fucking stupid. You don't see what a shithole this all is. You don't see how everything's just getting more expensive. Food portion, food small, like the portion they would give you is a lot smaller than it used to be, but more expensive. And this is where you want to bring your kid into? This is what you want to bring your kid into? This dump? This money nonsense bullshit? Now you got to get him prepped for school, put stress on him or her, then you got to get him or her possibly to go to college, man, or a trade. Now get to work. Okay, now you're old, maybe you could retire. Oh, he died, never mind. So honestly, parents wanting to be parents in today's life really, really irritate me to no end. And I kid you not, I really just want to slap them right in the effing face, man. Not that it'll solve anything. You just can't fix stupid. There's a saying, you can't fix stupidity. And I truly believe it. You just can't. It's proven to be a fact, because look what life's becoming, and look how we just still keep reproducing. That'll always occur. There's nothing we can do to ever stop that. No matter how bad life gets, Like, it could be, for example, let's say the earth stops spinning, right? Like, it's stuck nighttime. No sun. We all need the sun to survive. The trees, everything. We need sun. It has vitamins, all that crap. It could just be nighttime permanently. Something happened to the earth where it stopped rotating, let's just say, and it's nighttime, and we still want to have kids. The kid's never going to see sunlight, and we're all just going to die off anyway. So why even do it to begin with? That's the thing, because people are stupid. No matter what circumstance goes on in life, people will always reproduce. They will always keep reproducing more and more kids. I was going to say people, but, little people, little infant people. And it just makes me say to myself, man, I can't take the stupidity any longer, man. I'm just going to burst. I'm going to explode. Grow, expand, explode. Remember that episode from Courage the Cowardly Dog? I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. I used to watch that when I was a kid. But yeah, literally, it's how I feel. Literally like that carrot in Muriel, whatever her name was, his brain. Grow, expand, explode. That's how I feel when I see people having kids, when I see people keep reproducing into this shit, more people into this shit, more kids into this shit. That's how I feel, like that talking carrot, grow, expand. I just want to explode. Literally. I kid you not. And I said this, if I'm not mistaken, I could, let's say, win the lottery, right? I still wouldn't have a kid. I still wouldn't have a kid because I don't want to bring a poor soul into this world where not knowing what could possibly go wrong with him or her. What condition he may or may not have, You just don't know. It's not like there's a list where saying your kid's going to be healthy. No one truly knows. It's all a huge risk to take. We're all just taking that risk, and we're all just hoping. I hope he comes out healthy. Which, of course, people that are having kids, I do hope they come out healthy. But nobody truly knows what's going to be. So me already, with thinking that and just seeing that, I don't even want to get myself involved. And I don't want to possibly create some living thing just to suffer. Now, maybe he or she won't have no illness, but how do I know? If he or she, let's say, does have the illness, then I'll feel even more guilty about myself because this could have all been prevented. He or she wouldn't have to be experiencing this pain, this suffering, this torment if I would have just never had a kid. That's the thing. People just don't use their noggins. I do. That's the thing. I feel like I'm the only living creature here. I'm the only living human being here with a fucking noggin above. And of course, obviously, you people that watch the videos. There's a lot of smart people in this world, don't get me wrong, but it's just, I feel like it's flooded over stupid people. I feel like the stupid people always win. There's a lot of smart people in this world. There's a lot of good-hearted people in this world. That I will say. I will definitely say. But unfortunately, with that is, is just this also asshole people in this world. A lot of fools, a lot of mentally unstable people. And just narcissists, people that you just can't argue with. They think they're right all the time, no matter what you say to them. You're wrong, you're wrong. You're really right, but to them, no. It's just frustrating. Very, very frustrating, this life. Very frustrating in so many effing ways. But guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because in another, I would say 10, 15 minutes, I think it's going to become nighttime. And it looks like, I don't know if there's a storm coming by. There's a lot of times where it's just dark, nothing happens. Who the hell knows, but that could have sworn I heard a little bit of thunder a little while ago, so I'm going to probably head inside. But, yeah, once again, to all the fathers, if you're a father watching this, I do wish you happy Father's Day. But at the same time, why'd you do it? Why did you bring a poor soul into this world? And for a future father wanting to, well, he's not a father yet, but for, let's just saying, wanting to be a father, don't make the mistake. That's all I can say. I can't aim a gun in your face. I can't beg on my knees, like literally go on my knees and beg you not to do it. But I'm just saying, man, use some common sense. You see how life is. You see what this shithole's all about. Well, that's the thing. Probably they don't. That's why they do it. Or some are just, well, yeah, stupid, or they just don't give a fuck. Yeah, but don't make the mistake, man. You don't want to be a father. And vice versa for a mother. You don't want to be a mother, man. First of all, how do you even want to go through giving birth? I could imagine that pain. I could imagine it. I'm not a woman, obviously, so I don't know what it feels like, but I could understand. Like, I could imagine the pain. Push. Literally feels like I'm trying to push out shit. But literally. Like, why do you even want to get yourself through that situation? I could just imagine such a shitty feeling, having your stomach bloated like that with a baby. And I mean, I don't get people, man. They just put more stress on themselves. And what's even more upsetting is the poor son or daughter has to deal with it, that didn't ask to be here. Just make the right decision, people. Can't tell you what to do, but I can only just try and enlighten you as best as possible to possibly make the right decision. But at the end of the day, of course, the choice is truly up to us, and there's nothing I can do about that. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a day here. Happy Father's Day to all the sheep fathers out there. And yeah, we'll be uploading more soon. Take care, guys.